Autobots waging battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons.
The Transformers!
More than meets the eye!
So if you're a kid in the 80s or the early 90s, you probably know that song from the incredibly popular cartoon Transformers.
And if you didn't quite get it, I can sing it again.
Please don't, Ray.
But I won't.
Thank you.
No, but I could talk about the collectible.
That would be a good thing.
Okay, great. Well, Transformers is still one of the most popular cartoon franchises around, and beyond the comic books and the cartoons and the video games and more merchandise than you could store on Cybertron, collecting the Transformers toy line is big business. Now, the most sought after, arguably, is the Generation 1 Transformers, which are the original Transformers. They're called G1 for short, but there is a deluge of variants and reissues, spin-offs and custom makes available to you. But since 2003, Takara Tomy and Hasbro have redesigned the toys with the most popular characters in a masterpiece format. Now these toys are larger, they're more detailed, they're more complex to transform, which ultimately is much more fun.
Yep.
And they're also more posable as well than their original versions, but the appearances are kept as close as possible to the original cartoon or the original on-screen characters as possible. Yes.
He's talking about Soundwave now.
I was trying to build the suspense.
I know, but come on.
Okay. There we are. Soundwave with Laserbeak holding Megatron. Booyah. Counted among Megatron's earliest followers, Soundwave perpetuates his role as Decepticon communication specialist by virtue of minicons, which stealthily infiltrate the fortifications of Autobots and Decepticons alike, enabling Soundwave to provide Megatron with even the most secret or obscure information.
This masterpiece Soundwave has an incredible likeness to the original cartoon and comic character designs. He has incredible articulation that surpasses any previous version. What I love is that you can angle the feet, so he's not only more stable, but it also gives him a more natural stance.
And there's a nice articulation in the hands too, and I like that only the index finger is separated while the rest of his hand sort of moves as one. It's great also that you can illustrate him pointing to his chest to call upon his minicons, which is a reflection to what he does in the cartoon series. And speaking of which, I'm sure you've all spied Laserbeak there resting on his arm. Now he looks fantastic. I haven't seen a better Laserbeak ever. But what do you get with the MP13? Sonia?
Well, you get a couple of stack cards, a cassette case, Soundwave's weapon which can open up and be used. It can also be carried just like the scanner. Simply fold the hand aside and attach it. Little grid display that fits on his chest for alternate display, together with an empty Energon cube with a lid for when you need to store some away. The cube can also fit on his chest, and Megatron in gun mode, which you can reduce down into the short-range pistol.
But I know what you're all wondering. Does he transform? Hells yeah he does. And there you have it, Soundwave in blaster mode and Laserbeak in cassette mode. The player has a lot of details to it, a lot of extra buttons and switches, which, some of them actually functional, which is nice. And there's points where you think you could actually put your headphones in and that sort of thing. I think that's really, really good to see, that they've decided to add that extra detail. Can Laserbeak fit into Soundwave? Yes, he can. Can Soundwave multiple eject? Yes, he can. He can actually fit 3 minicons in his chest at any one time, which means you could get a Ravage or perhaps a Rumble, the ones I would choose definitely, to get the iconic set. So, Sonia?
Look, I'm not a Transformer collector myself, I have to say. I am a fan, but I'm not a collector. But the make and model of this one is really quite great quality, like it's really high. The joints are all really solid. Almost so much so that I feel like I'm going to break him. Which would be a shame, but I know that I'm not going to. He's really posable as well, which is great. It means that you can muck around with his stance and you can make him look really statuesque as well as, putting him in all his poses. Ultimately, he is a buy from me. I think he's really cool. Just, I I think he'd look good on anyone's shelf, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I get that feeling as well when
Yeah.
I'm snapping him into place, though. That, I wonder if I am going to break him. But I have to remember, he's a Transformer, and he's meant to transform. And if he were flimsy, I'd be really disappointed. He's the Takara model. The Hasbro hasn't been released yet, as of yet, but I'm sure it will come out very soon. Personally, I like the Takara models better. It's just a preference of mine. There's one thing, one little issue I have with this though, and that would be the index finger we spoke earlier about. It's sort of missing a pin at the end joint, and I'd be a little worried if you were, a little careless that it would fall off and you would lose that, and that would be a real shame. That said, the Masterpiece comes with a bunch of functional accessories, which they're not fantastic, but they're all usable. The best thing about it is Laserbeak, of course. I think he's reward enough. He is an expensive toy, and he's quite sought after as well. The pre-order list for Soundwave was very high, and Soundwave being one of the most popular characters in the cartoon series, you'd expect that he'll sell out quite fast.
Yeah.
But bang for your buck, absolutely. The design and just the sheer construction of him and how he transforms is really terrific. So it's a buy from me.
Cool.
Can I transform him back again now?
Yes, you can play with him again.
Yes!
But I might go and do another review.
Oh, that's cool with
Okay,
me.
cool.
Yep.
Okay, good.
To destroy the evil force.